Hello and welcome to Learn to Play Chess. We're on episode 5 and today we are going to learn our next piece, the bishop. Why you would have your bishop in the army out fighting, I don't know. But there he is with his funny little mitre hat on. And like the rook and the knight, you have two of these. And believe it or not, yes, you've guessed it, they go in the next two positions inside the pieces that you've already put on the board. So rooks on the outside corner, then knights, and then the two bishops. Let's just recap where we've got to first. The pawn is your frontline soldier. It can only go forward, but it can't capture going forward. It can capture going diagonally forward, but it can't go diagonally unless it's capturing. It can only go one square at a time, but on the first go you can, if you want, take it forward 2 paces. And if this pawn survives right to the back of the board, on the move that gets onto that last square, you can take it off and replace it for any other piece you want. You don't replace it with a piece down here, you replace it with one that's already been captured, or you can do something to mark that pawn to say this is now a rook, or a knight, or a bishop, or a queen, but not a king. Then we learnt about the rook. Looks like a castle, but called a rook. That goes forwards, backwards, left and right, for as many places as you want, up until the point where it captures a piece. So let's bring that in a bit. Up to the point where it captures a piece, it takes that piece, it can't go any further than that. Until the next go. Then we learnt about the knight last time. Do you remember? It has a little L-shaped move. It goes 2 places, and then 1 to the side, and it can jump over things. It only captures the piece it lands on last, although it can jump over your team or your opponent's team on the way. So let's look at these bishops. Do you remember the rooks can go forward, backwards, left and right? The bishop does something similar, but on the diagonal. So it's forwards, left diagonally, forwards, right diagonally. Backwards right diagonally, backwards left diagonally. You can't really knock into your own pieces on the board. I'm just moving them out of the way as I go. You've got 2 bishops. And look, the one down here is on the black square. The one down here is on the white square. Just look at that board for a minute. Imagine those pawns aren't in the way. That bishop can glide about, but it will always stay on its own colour, wherever it goes. Oops. That will always be on the white. And likewise this one would always be on the black. So when you're cornering a piece, remember that that other piece could get on the black square and never be captured by the bishop on the white squares. So that's a pretty easy, straightforward, simple lesson, I hope. So I want you to line up your chessboard again. Put the pawns on the front line, the rooks and the knights as before, and then the bishops, and have a game of nearly completed chess now. Pick that friend, practice, have a few games, and when you're confident, come back for the next lesson. If you're getting a little bit stuck on a few things, it might be wise just to go back to previous episodes. This is why I don't keep these very long. Just want to be short and snappy, explain everything, and then give you lots and lots of time in order to practice, because that's where you're going to learn. So you might just need to go back a lesson or 2, particularly if you've been racing forwards a little bit before you're ready. But don't worry, we'll all get there in the end. And I'll see you for the next lesson.